Yo man, you ever gone to an arcade? You ever been? Nope. Nope, can't do this. I can't pull off the costume. Which sucks because, you know, it's October. It's Halloween, the month of costumes, the month of candy, pumpkin, chocolate, candy. It's also the month for the obligatory Halloween video. You know, all the YouTubers do it. It's that one video that deals with a spooky or scary game or a game that has horror elements. Let's get to it. Oh, come on, not this. No, this isn't scary. Nah.
Heavy metal! But not exactly what I wanted!
No. Getting closer, but it's been done to death. Yep, this'll work. Now, if you were born in the 80s or early 90s, you probably grew up playing the N64. The N64 was home to great platformers like Super Mario 64 and Yoshi's Story. While these were first-party games, this was the time Nintendo actually had third-party support. Well, more like second-party. One such company created some of the best platformers on the system. Most notably, Donkey Kong 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Banjo-Kazooie along with its sequel. This company was known as Rareware. During this time, Rareware Oh yeah, this isn't suspicious at all. Wait a minute. I know this game. Let's continue. In the early 2000s, Rareware got bought by Microsoft, making it a first-party developer for the Xbox. This meant most of the IP Rareware created while working with Nintendo, such as Conker and Banjo-Kazooie, now belonged to Microsoft. Rareware was also working on some games for the Nintendo GameCube during the buyout. The game Star Fox Adventure was finished before the finalization of the buyout and was able to be published. Donkey Kong Racing, the sequel Rareware's Diddy Kong Racing in the N64, wasn't unlucky and was cancelled. There was one game that was partially developed, and instead of cancelling it, Rareware decided quickly, and emphasis on that for later, rework the game for the Xbox. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared to be... The game begins as we meet our hero Cooper and his friend Amber, who are lost after taking a wrong turn somewhere. They stumble upon a mansion owned by Baron Von Ghoul, who's doing... that. Amber wants to enter the mansion, while Cooper argues mansions like these are usually full of creeps. The Baron can apparently hear this all the way from his top story window, and gets offended by being called a creep. He comes up with an idea. To kidnap Amber, a completely non-creepy thing to do! Cooper then gives chase into the dark mansion. A butler enters and then turns on the lights, and we see our hero surrounded by ghouls known as imps. The butler then takes off in a style that would make Scooby-Doo proud. This is when we get our first taste of gameplay. Surrounded by imps, there's only one thing Cooper can do. Suck them up with a vacuum! I'm joking, that's just stupid. They're not ghosts. Instead, it's much more efficient to beat the shit out of them. That's right, this is actually a beat-em-up game. The game uses twin-stick controls. The left analog stick controls Cooper's movements, while the right analog stick is used to attack. You can also grab items and use them as makeshift weapons, though after a certain amount of hits, the item is destroyed. After defeating the imps, we now begin our search for Amber. The first room we enter is the hallway with... that. Soon one of the wall trophies come to life and we get introduced to another game mechanic. QuickTime events. Every so often there will be a jump scare, and if you're not quick enough to hit the buttons, Cooper can lose some help. These are dumb. I'm not sure what they're supposed to accomplish. They just slow the game down and they're not even scary, just annoying. And this entire hallway is... wait. Banjo? Nope, final straw, nope. You know what? Microsoft knew what they were going to do with the series the moment they bought it.
Come on, Jose, don't you think you're reading into this a little bit too much?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Nope. Nope. That is it. That's definitely GuardianGamers throwing a motherfucking fire egg.
Alright, you know what? Well, one, you played way too much Banjo-Kazooie to know that.
Listen, man, there's never too much Banjo-Kazooie.
Alright, let's just get this game over with. Alright?
Yeah, you're right.
How did you get in my house? Now, in most beat-em-ups like Double Dragon Neon or Final Fight, you have to defeat all enemies on screen in order to move on. Well, that's not really the case with Grab by the Ghoulies. Most rooms have challenges or certain goals you have to meet. In some rooms, you'll have the goal to defeat all the enemies. In others, you have to find a key and a rare item. And in others, you don't have a goal. You can just enter the next room, no problem. These goals add a bit of variety to the game, and can sometimes make the game be a bit of a challenge, such as trying to beat a certain enemy without beating another, or having to alternate between killing enemies. If you fail, your reward is death or death. No joke, the Grim Reaper actually appears, and if he touches you, or anything for that matter, it's an instant kill. There's another thing that's a bit of a challenge. After a while, the Baron decides to mess with your health. Your health changes whenever you enter a new room. At first I thought it was something at random, but after doing another playthrough, it's actually a set value. There's something about this mechanic that just feels wrong. At times it feels like a punishment for doing so well in the previous room, wait, what is that chick doing here? Once again, a completely non-creepy thing to do. Okay, besides the point, the game just feels unbalanced. It hits its high points when the goals are actually challenging. Other times, it's just slow or has a cheap sense of difficulty. You feel the only reason it's hard is due to have a forced low health or just an annoying challenge. The controls aren't exactly the best either. At times, Cooper goes exactly the direction you want to attack and sort of auto-locks onto the enemies. But whenever you use a gun-based weapon such as the soda pop gun, which you have to use in certain levels, your aim is really off. It doesn't auto-lock as much as when you're fighting hand-to-hand, even when the enemy is like 4 feet in front of you. The way the story is told isn't really that great either. The whole thing is in a book format that has comic book panels, even though it's clearly a storybook, and has movies with 3D characters, even though it's a book. It's just weird. The story itself is bland too. After finding Amber, she gets transformed by the evil Dr. Crackpot into this. Okay, just need, yep, better. Cooper then needs to find 3 ingredients in order to help a friendly chef create an antidote, all the while trying to defeat horrible enemies, such as imps, fire imps, and flying imps. What's next, ninja imps? That's a thing. Yeah, some of these enemies are pretty stupid and really easy to beat. There's like 3 of them that are actually difficult, and a lot of times they take the place of bosses. There's a noticeably low amount of bosses. There's only 2 real bosses in the game. After getting the 3 ingredients, Cooper dumps the antidote all over Amber. There's a sex joke in there somewhere. Anyways, due to a small mistake, it instead transforms her once again into an evil ogre. Alright, one moment. Okay. Alright, better. The boss fight is okay. It's a simple beat 'em up boss. Watch her attack patterns, use items constantly, and you'll be fine. The second boss is the Baron himself, but he's in his master bedroom that is locked by some magic barrier. The only way to break it is by reading a riddle that is broken into 3 pieces and spread across the far reaches of the mansion. Cooper tries to collect the 3 pieces while fighting more ghoulies, such as the dreaded Worm, an actually difficult Warlock, and the Vampire. Whoa, wait. That's the Vampire? Wait, what was this game rated? Alright, so, how are these giant things allowed? You know what? Okay, it's fine. Maybe it's just a joke. I now know how I want to die. Seriously, how did this get into an E-rated game? Well, putting that aside for now, this is the part of the game where the challenges become tedious, boring, and just plain annoying. There's not that many challenges, and you definitely played them all by now. Rare decided to fix this by making the challenges harder, but in a bad way. They put you in situations that are almost unfair. In this room, Cooper has to venture all the way to the end without using items to attack, break the rule, and the Reaper comes. Now that doesn't seem too bad, right? Well, let's take away some health. Still not too bad. And now let's add the hardest enemies in the game.
I can do this. I got this.
4 of them, plus add more enemies, plus a haunted door you have to defeat at the end in order to move on.
Nope, never mind, screwed.
One thing that helps get through these rooms are power-ups. These soup cans can actually give you 1-hit KOs, speed boosts, invisibility, and some of them are actually curses. They're usually hidden in the destructible environment, except in this level, they're hidden in the items, which I'm not supposed to use. Why would I even pick them up or go near them? There's one time where you get a challenge that has you destroying all the haunted chairs with only your fist, and only items. How does that even work? Both of them cancel each other out. We reach Crackpot's lair, and instead of an awesome boss fight, we get cutscenes, where Cooper is about to be transformed, and he does the only thing he can do. Wow, this really is a Scooby-Doo game. Remember when I said this game was finished quickly? This was actually supposed to be a big boss fight, but according to Rare, they had to scrap it due to time. Instead, we get another annoying challenge, and this is the one that pissed me off the most. We have 3 of the strongest creatures in the game right off the bat. We can't kill skeletons, we have to find a key in these vials, with some of them containing worms, and then we have to find another key in an enemy. Here's the thing, the enemy is a vampire, which can't be killed unless we have a garlic gun, but we don't get it in this section. The solution is to kill a skeleton in order called death, and then maneuver the vampire in front of death. All the while avoiding this fight club here. Thanks game, give me more challenges I can't complete. I really want to call the thing that can instantly kill me.
There are a few good things with the game. For one, the music. The composer Grant Kirkhope did a wonderful job with the music. It still has that classic Rareware feel, you know, like Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64 style. And secondly, the beginning isn't too bad, neither is the end.
Cooper gets all the pieces of the riddle and then faces off against Baron Von Ghoul, but he finds the butler beating him. I know what you're thinking, but no, Rareware didn't rush this part either, because the Baron was the butler all along! This boss fight is actually decent. In the beginning, you have to use the Baron's weapon against him to do any damage, and you have to time your attacks or you'll hit him when he's invulnerable. He then gets in a plane, and since Cooper's fist can't hurt it, the Baron gives him the soda pop gun. For a fair fight, of course. And now it becomes the dodge until he's stunned and shoot him part, and it's fairly easy. After knocking the Baron through the wide window, Cooper then rushes with a friendly skeleton known as Mr. Ribs to save the kids that have gone through a series of unfortunate events and have been kidnapped. This is where the challenges really shine. You only have about 13 minutes to save 9 kids throughout the mansion, though every time you free a kid, a small challenge appears. The challenges are all pretty simple and your health isn't messed with anymore. This part is quite fun. Here, it's your fault if you die. It's your fault if you run out of time. It feels like a buildup of everything you learn, from how enemies react to how to use the power-ups to your advantage. Actually, that's all you learn, but it's still fun. Once you saved all the 9 kids, Cooper joins Mr. Ribs to free the 10th and final kid. And now disappointment returns. For the last part, some imps knock Cooper out, and you have to play as the friendly cook to defeat them all with her giant spoon. There's another sex joke in there somewhere. This part is really easy, and it kind of ends the suspense of the time trial we just had. I was expecting the Baron to come back for one final fight, but instead we got this. In the end, Cooper and Amber leave the mansion and its friendly residents. They head to a town nearby known as Ghoulsville in the Gloom, with the Baron following them.
That's about it. I mean, the game's more disappointing than scary. It's fun at some times, and then the rest is just... You could say this kinda showed the path Microsoft was gonna take Rare, which some people think that's scary in itself.
Hey, Rareware's gonna make a comeback someday.
So, question. Why are you still here?
Well, you got the Cartoon Networks, and I doesn't, so, I mean, duh.
Go ahead, stay here. I'm gonna go die. I'm gonna enjoy myself. Do whatever you want.
Oh, but you guys still finished the video. Like, so Jose kind of really did leave me here by myself, and don't know what to say at this point in the video. I'm sure there's some sort of something on the screen to click on, maybe YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, Grindr, I don't know, whatever Jose has an account on. Screwittalk.com. Subscribe, yeah? I guess. check out the website. It's w something dot gamers, GuardianGamers.com maybe. Sounds about right, I guess. I guess we should kind of stop here. Let's see. Stop. Nope, still going. Somebody tell me how to stop this thing. Help.